Brami Mwachi.
Hello?
Me watch you.
Oh, me do so, Kwame.
And Namu Pomboko, dear.
Me I don't be boko.
What the woman? Who said MPP? Kwaya more fast restructure party towards 2028 elections. You know, what the Abbas a beya and party constitution, one and system. Now, and come eventually what to say.
Oh, I'm so proposal. I made a constitutional amendment committee. Now, this is a proposal I made during the last National Executive Committee meeting and the National Council meeting. And we all recognize that we've been through a very difficult stage of the party's development. We have to admit that we were defeated in a massive way, and we can't continue with things or business as usual. And that's why I made those proposals. First and foremost, we feel that in fact, we think Kofopi Kasa followed MPP platforms. We feel that electoral college, city at TSC, and I said, while you do my party or constituency, because we're the chairman 3 terms. But yeah, she say no on your chairman people. Now so or or experience or knowledge. How bit me their bois party no. And to see a kotwa ba on your chairman bill on to be no there. We should say a having. We will have a former MP. Constituency, only constituency in India. Only on to baby because on your MPP. Intermediary say all these former officers. In fact, they there a taba album ne honi na say. We will have now a polling station executive 2000 and 2004 and 2008. Because beer. MP no for be person ba na we polling station elections na ya no basa kasa obeti say be na say ye be free all those people na at least why executive down there say your man yes say almost to me to abani bia sa any brain na beba say yi we free we ka ho baby why the 2 albums na to abani na to becha because why a polling station that executive that even in 1992 na say now the tiasi now we free mu dia na che say e ma ho kwan say was no e say utimi to sa da ne bi e the back to DCs ni MCs that for etwemu ni ade ni na it will bring a certain level of inclusivity bema one feel say party no e yo ma sinchen because bi any one ya say udo wa ba for rema party na why you juma ma party na ebedu say ye be nipa also won't count. You don't have a voice in it, so people feel alienated. People say you almost in change. And the mission says it to create every constituency be more the executive positions 2022, 2018, 2014, 2012. Now they know themselves. And the Nigeria say Jama constituencies know themselves to make sure say all the former executives are put into a caucus until they all become delegates to be able to express their opinion and vote for parliamentary candidates and presidential candidates and national offices. Nigeria said it will create a certain energy at the bottom of the party. But many people in Kenya can see be abba. Say woman's party no, woman can be anywhere who you are free. Oh, there's also another thought that Nkayimbi Mukwana Ubia or card so and Twaba. Well, I think eventually Bia will get there, but this is what I call a limited expansion. A bit BMO cafe. It could increase the voting population to anything between 2 million and 3 million. So for the party, and no, I think will be more representative at the base level. A bit boa. Until I made this proposal and a true anymore. Secondly, me found it true and say to me yes, we are many paddle do part of the electoral college. Some na beto aba there. Let me feel say nka yenyi presidential candidate no kane. Because you say ukoye kotoa bebia or party ma aspirants no one there's a lot of financial pressure. Obi a ho no afro be say me constant election ha, be say me polling station ha, be say me electoral area coordinator, be say me constituency chairman, right up to national level. By the time you better to all these elections, maybe from polling station, electoral area, constituency, region, national, now it creates a lot of factionalism in the party. Apart from say a pressure, financial pressure to system, so allow for monetization of the process, and no so it creates that kind of division. See, ya to a baby. See, all former officers at the polling station level for polling station for every electoral cycle, they are about 200,000. To the go back to the mini electoral cycle, but you go well past 2 million people eligible to vote in that election. See, it will reduce the monetization of politics at the base level. And by the time I be after that, in 2 years time, when the next round of national elections almost mandate expire in 2026, yes, in 2026. Wow, person will do for rest of your party chairman, general secretary, announcer, treasurer, announcer constituent. We say, you bad the tide, ye and no is likely to create more harmony and come at the local level. And we feel that the third thing was super delegates. And no, it's just 276 constituency chairmen. Constituency with so many voters. One person at all. The 272 regional executives, the 88 members of parliament. In Tukikamboma, it will be less than 800 with the 30 council of elders. The last time members of parliament 139, it was still under 1,000. And per 1,000 there, it's liable to manipulation and monetization. And they don't represent the base of the party. They cannot adequately represent the base of the party. And also, so Mujiri says, in a free hall. The party Nankasa, the grassroots, no, do no, and Twabano. No one I polling station from 1992, 96 through to 2000, 2004. That yes. Now, Omudi Yao said, Naya Kotwaba. Now, said the one up to why Juma party. Said on your polling station executive, only the Untimin Kotua Benebi. Na Afo Impaka Krabi and in Numbi a war, and they are power see one no crown a quite fast of power on see one crown, and no crown are contentious because also a constitution. Every polling station should have a register. Time I'm a general secretary, me prepare me printed registers for all the 38,000 polling stations. Then so Nipano sa meetings and every polling station. Ebeye no mo nti so won kosia no mato aba nye obi ne be free baby abeka se na ye beto aba ha wo mo enemy because we polling station meetings normally nipa ba be 25 20 15 very hardly now because you know polling station meetings in the hardcore party activists someone attend the polling station executive meetings. One they decided who their polling station executives are. Now, some polling station executives, no one, Juma Delman is only some better about. Oh, Juma is on Juma advocacy for the party at the local level, monitor our electoral register in that polling station. Polling station, be no better and more back thousand. Yeah,
but who by friend, not some polling station executives, no. Now I say will be cry extra the bag a professional no trash or say delegate others oh ye impending for MPP nti bebre kwa hu se chese ya abatoɔ nko na ɔmo ye
and then America say polling station say you polling station manual party what that now so a lot of people claim him say polling station manual and not show a Juma polling station executive where Juma say oh yeah so we will film identify omo any mom so me MP before omo be 17 omo ba be code 18 omo betimi don beto register no so o Juma be yes, delegate. Delegate now. It is not known in our constitution. There is no position called delegate in the MPP constitution. Now, so a Juma idea say almost as a polling station executive. Because I know they are trying. And then I don't know a TV program, but you so be there na person so I'm person me delegate. You know, because of Niama say be no enya wo ha. You should say and no create that distance between the party and the general populace. And if you increase your democracy, let's be a polling station that no one to mean you need free more. Then Casa name be election for me 5 or and none I do when you went in to qua emba. So Nipana Yuma at the polling station that they are, it should be a part of the electoral college. We should going forward and say and no crown future polling station elections to be less contentious. Because me put my polling station executive that as a constitutional man kwanse mitimi to aba we akoto for no me nya kra mesa to aba so bia nyame na me polling station organization name but having been a member before no mitimi to aba see any sa wunchu we you film ni adi ni na no e be free ho me didi say e beboa ntina me dey sergeant so no aba say the party should consider that. I spoke at it during the National Executive. I put it in writing to the Constitution, the Constitution Amendment Committee. With the presidential prime minister, the date is decided by the National Council. You don't need any constitutional amendment. It just gives you a limit of 24 months to the next election. So you can do it any time before that. As soon as we've been able to open up the electoral register and make sure that all these people are who are MP for 3 terms, not to say we're free so. And so you're talking about on to be. I mean, how can that be? So until the person doesn't feel an organic link to the party, that sense of belonging now, or can or so or boa, near the night, be so that the former party cried and shall say, that the former war 92. And then you can't some cry in Ferro and cannot come home. So, Tiasin free Mudia, me say. They have a responsibility to say it brings the whole party together as one. Kwabena Sani to me be registered to that level. That may be an interim step. Gradually be eventually it needs to say a registration system need to make sure that card holders doors one. And no they say eventually develop systems will be work hard to meet Waba. I'm sure that eventually we'll get that, but you started from zero, where we are now straight on beer. There may be issues. Let's bring in all those who have been left out. Now, once you a Bema amount for NSA feeling to energize the party at the base, Bema toss from Kumbiaba. Say, yes, you can't. I mean, the so party no fire and I say, you come here. That level of participation will restore the confidence that people have in the electoral process. They open up in Yafra, wouldn't at least almost today, imagine. Do don't know to a man, then so or MPP. Until I'm the those proposals number.
Now, what did buy an Peninsula Jane saying?
Oh, I mean, there was in the room there was general acceptance. I mean, of course, the only thing was maybe no say, there was some a little confusion. It was Obia one again. So it was a party there. It did the LED and maybe hear me. What is important is that let's broaden the base of the electoral college, and we broaden the base of the electoral college in a big way. So. We also recognize that the flag bearer is the most important person in the party rally behind. And Emma, the participation here broad based. You just have broad based participation. by the time a national executive is almost mandate to be soon in 2026, no, one copy bill and say, oh, ba, no one but tie candidate, you know, near the Nako. The Kwabena says, you see, yes, starting polling station. Where is the way people win a boy, member, see how region way or candidate to win a support to me, region who for a candidate to win a support to me, there is no harmony. So, until at the end of the day, you should look at the current situation. It's not the best for ourselves. Until you cannot be business as usual. I think we should flip it. It's time for us to take a closer look at it. Tension down in the party. Sinipa do no aso toa. Ombe yi omakuma matoa ma obia otu ne ho si ho, but then ho aba for ye, wasum party, owe ni die, owe bu, o kasapa, party for no ginidi. Yes, be obi uska, obi tumi akotua nipa kakra bia meme ska man nema. And no na ekun the politics of this country. I think we should reduce the monetization of politics in our country, and therefore allow proper leaders, because leadership may hire or man. If we have well-meaning, public-spirited individuals, almost 2 years, what you say, person, or mine, and no, and none of them achievement for men who said there is beauty and a sense of fulfillment in serving your country. May who politics as a way of making money. Sadiana, a hygiene, and no share pressure. Grassroots needed to current government, so because of incendium, no party can come into power and give all their 5, 6, 7 million supporters jobs. You can't do it. But party and she said, create an economic environment that can help anybody thrive. So maybe I will be as a table now, the Hamlin now. This is build the economy, spread the development around the country. Only has over Kumasi and Ankara. Now what to me, so that you can realize your God-given potential without having to do just a politics in Kwana bit me afemo ayesa. Me sir engineering did the near man what do doing engineering practice na dem me kwa ben men sit down count. So the practice where people go into government and then all of a sudden you see or die 3 or die 4 no, that is unfortunately giving a wrong signal to Nchimano into Usha. So or university no join party because of placement papa or per scholarship or per national service. Who said dear na me yamo mine. Always what can I get out of the system? This is what we have to change. There has to be a paradigm shift in our politics. Again, the leaders, no, they say leading by example. They say, yeah, leading by example. Better than Chimano Abanasa. And that's what I talked about during the last Prime Minister. I can't say triple S, service, a some sacrifice. So the whole bar for real and selflessness. The bishop when you grow bit may the ama do any be now the amano no idea. And no, never more minor ye. The Indian says, Casem no sabi, Ubian Ska, no to transform, no pay 2 dinner or Ghana. This is not the Ghana that we know. We don't waste money. And it is materialism that has taken over this country. And if we, the leaders of our party, don't stop that and we don't speak against that. After all, you can live a fulfilled life. I believe, I've lived a fulfilled life. You don't need to have 100 houses or 20 houses. Even if you have 2, 3 houses, that's fine. They're damn it, things is here. No, let me see 1999, 2000, press secretary to the president. I'm here. Many didn't come. I'm happy. So what bad? I'm a woman, some spirit of contentment. I could be press secretary to conform. Because they are dying. What they are dying? You just break a mortar. We need to learn to serve society. As a casa man who said, Sikan Crawford, two good Crawfords, and no being a Sagana, we don't even know the source of the money. Then we put it to DHD. What kind of society are we building? We can't do that. In the media, I want to make a woman, Nyamedia Mame, at my age, as I say, me calling I will fight for propriety in Ghana. With my holding in a bay, saying Chimanabes BB, and with the very principles that anchored the formation of this political party. Karocha no penning for I didn't boat no almost is here. One to hear nine de aboa party.
I Mr. Jenny what or turn it down.
Party. Oko be kind no near the Amubedi Akonom, Stephen Kreku, CEO Nyano, Addison, AK Deku, because I like being silent no ade. I say we are no will be a fumade. Yeah, they quite.
But I say that was then. Say contemporary politics, you know, you come over some name.
I don't accept that was then. Bia a Sumaya and Fata, and Sumaya Sumsika and Assasa or mine. The small Bias on Koyajuma, they believe that you can be before. You can have a fulfilled life without being rich. Who here, maybe tell me, can you, here, that is all you need in society to be happy. And you cannot buy contentment. The politics now, a man for money I did because if you said that the kind of going out there, oh, the capital, Kwame, two things to see. Now, send me first school, the young people, the test control by my office. Then Busan said, oh, mama made their wildest dreams. A dime saying I'll pay, cars saying I'll pay, Sika saying I'll be you a man saying I'll be. Okay, come over. May no calculations be converted at current. A new man on me answer means it drew $1.5 million. And Zubetia will be a first Kakasi Buma, will be all the Sika never boom pass a can I say good bank on a 000 DH. Who is the can now find idea and farm money is useless. It is of no use to society. And we have to begin to speak like you, the media, Mosomoka. And someone in Namoka, and someone in Namoka, you have forgotten your duty to society as fourth estate. Tell them no crack, who pay me papa, and you pay who to buy me the Oman. Now, to trust them in somewhere fatter, nay, cannot and throw me, and people have allowed themselves to become mercenary. You told me, you saw, Monsieur Smithsy, Monsieur Benting. What I call slash and burn politics in this country. Why? What kind of society is that? You are intuitive. You are very adult. You are katapa. You are very needy. And none of them in Chimanaka politics. This may be because we assume society. You can live a fulfilled life without being massively rich. Because when you feel you're going to be. So, and then go to be free when we are. We are done we are in the area. Now, vegetables. I am
ready. And son Abakon, Mamusa Debi, and in respect of the expansion, said of electoral college, you know. You've been saying this for years, and my Kwame ni pebi anu homu yet, and this for man the way we say taking cue from that, you know. Expansion, no mobile no Kwame so.
In America, say let's start with all former office holders. And so we end this in there, you could not have been an office holder unless what's the status of the MPP. So I think that being fully and a beer that possibility, no, no crime, I think is just marginal. People are overstating that possibility. Eventually, no, we see that we should get there. Eventually. But when we are the confronting here on any I think that before July, August, they say yes, I did, so that we can move on. We don't have time. So the more be until I'm funny say idea a point in be there be and no so be a polling station officer that I mean chairman organizer in 1996 not to we not here. Oh, but my trouble be. Who do on the counterparts are no more 2000, 2004, 2008. A baby brave. You cross the 2 million barrier. And once you have more than 2 million to 3 million people voting, I think it will be difficult to and that will be disabused. And to be sure, sad threat now will come with something bit meaning is a former executive. We ain't naming me. It's much sure the no executive won the constituency in 1996. Also, we need, that's why my first proposal is that all the 275 or so constituencies come back. They have the data, they have the information. All their former polling station executives and bring them back into the voting arrangement. We have more opportunity to express their opinion and also participate. So participation in here. So almost count one. And no, you talk about the Abiano, unintended the Yakra, or no so or ye be or count, you feel a sense of responsibility to campaign. And this are a party in the Senate and count to mean Kwabena. A better from Kase. So I think that is the first step. Eventually, I'm sure that the 1 man, 1 vote, almost when we've got the systems and the architecture in place, and now with digitization, we should be able to do it. But that may take us a bit more time. We have them available. It also capable of expanding a bit. Be at the end of Kaseta. You
are medal pay.
Kwame medal. Now, Mr. Akonya, when you are 2 radios to the year. Mr. Nammy, I'm simply show. William Canabon to me acquire that.
Marty.
Na you Como. Because to the way I would depart in who fell on Niema, move to Niema, a party, no Mr. Party, the Nipan room, there from so
Marty.
We can't be perfect, but we all have to build Cana. Our mind here, something your friend and mind yourself. We want to build a country. We can't build a country by destroying ourselves and destroying each other. It won't help any of us. We acquire. But me that, and I'm in chair with you I'm sure since elections, we need the first person I'm no Akasa, and Casa, baby.
Me that's it. Me that's it. We shall so bye bye.